Curling now enters the Sports Weekend Spotlight.
Jennifer Jones is going back to the Olympics. Colleen, what a day.
It was an exhausting day because this was less of a game and more of a massive roller coaster ride with all kinds of different twists and turns and nothing bigger until the 10th and 11th end. So everybody, curling fans, were with you. We're exhausted by it too.
We are. And yet we have another championship tonight. We'll talk about that later. But of course, you said it. The 10th end. Jennifer Jones looking like she has it, a routine hit to win it.
An outturn at that. Who doesn't love that?
Who doesn't love an outturn? So why don't we get into the highlights, set up the drama, and then get into this thing. We're going to talk to the people closest to all of this. But here's how it unfolded just hours ago at the Sastel Center.
Final stone for Tracy Fleur.
Straight.
Trying to straighten it out, and it wouldn't come over. She knows. Jennifer Jones has been here before. It was 13 in Winnipeg. McEwen, Peterman, staying on this. You can't run away here. Staying on this. And so, for the first time in Triumph's history, we will go to an extra. Drag it over a little bit more. It's showing a bit.
Just hack! Yay!
Get it by that guard! Get it by! No, they will not! Jennifer Jones will go for gold again.
The Olympic jerseys that they're wearing now as they parade up center ice. And then, of course, when they sang "Oh Canada" on the podium, and Jennifer had a marvelous cry as she tried to sing those words at the same time.
Yeah, so emotional, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. You saw it all play out there.
Yeah.
I was joking, Call, about the fact that you could do a mini doc on all of the reactions of all of the people.
And then when Jennifer came into the scrum area afterwards,
that's right,
she mentioned that the reason the breakdown during the anthem is she was thinking of her dad.
First time I won without my dad. Sorry. All I thought about is he would have been so proud, and he just loved "Oh Canada." It just made me think of him. My eye wouldn't stop watering all week, and my dad had this watery eye, so I felt like he was with me. And yeah, just that's why I was so emotional. I love him so much, and I just wish he could have been here.
Oh, that makes me cry.
Yeah.
Because the parents in this whole story have been a big factor. You always call them Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
Caitlin and Jennifer.
Cheryl and Carol.
Yeah. And we have seen Cheryl in the stands earlier in the week with binoculars out, charting rocks and all of that sort of stuff.
She does it all.
And she looked pretty darn proud today. And we wanted to celebrate mums today and bring in Cheryl Laws and just talk about the excitement of watching your daughter, Caitlin, going to yet another Olympic Games. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. It's hard to believe. My heart's still pounding. I think 3 times and back to back to back. It's unbelievable.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented, no doubt. Cheryl, you were living and dying on every shot. There's the photo of you and your daughter after that emotional roller coaster. What was that like being there today. And of course, you were wearing the lucky 2014 Olympic shirt, but just take us through that roller coaster for you today.
The first part of the game, like, I felt that we had control and figured that with our experience that we should be able to do this, and that they would have the nerves, and that definitely was showing up in some of their shot making. But then when we missed out on our chances for the extra points, and then that hit and roll out and just only tying the game in the 10th end, like, it was just like, oh no, how can this happen to us? And I to be honest, to try and steal an end against the amazing Fleury team, because they played so amazing all week long, that part was a nail biter. My sister and I did not hang on hands all week long, but in the 10th end and the extra end, I think I crushed her knuckles.
Well, if we aged 10 years watching that extra end, I'm sure you probably did as well. How proud are you of Caitlin, your daughter?
Oh, it's hard to believe. I mean, it's a dream come true for my baby. And like, I'll never forget. And I told the story when Devin interviewed me to go to Sochi, that her Pyeongchang, I can't even remember now. When he visited our home,
many.
And I told about the flag. I got the flag off the top of the Parliament buildings, and it took quite a few months. I worked for the federal government, and I applied for it. Never ever dreamt that I would get it. And Caitlin just said to me, "There's, what are you ever going to do with that?" And I says, "I'm taking it to the Olympics like this." She says, "Yeah, right, Mom." And here it is 3 times. So it just blows me away.
What an amazing story.
It is. Cheryl, we were joking before you came on about Thelma and Louise. You and Carol have been such friends in the rink, outside of the rink. What has it meant to be on this journey with Carol, watching your daughters achieve curling greatness?
It's been an amazing journey, for sure. It was hard this week not having Carol beside me. We traveled to Moose Jaw. And so to be back in the home province of Saskatchewan and to have another win, because Caitlin's actually first Scotty win was in Moose Jaw. And so, it was hard, but she was doing her grandma duty. And she said that the other day, she said she thought she was going to be sick to her stomach, because she said it was so nerve-wracking. And not being there, she said she needed to hang on to my hand, and we used to dig her hands into each other's knees because of some of these gut-wrenching shots. But anyway, we'll have a big hug.
You've just described what every parent
Tuesday, so I pray she is.
Yeah. You just described how every parent, I think, feels, no matter what level, they want the best for their kids. So that's so nice. How hard will it be for you not to be able to go to these Olympic Games?
Oh, it's going to be really hard because something like this, it never comes around very often, if at all. And so I was so fortunate to get there with the help of our sponsors and fundraising and things like that for the 2 Olympics. And I've never been to China, but with everything that's going on, I'll be screaming loud and hard from home, and hopefully we'll have some, well, with COVID, it's hard to say how many get-togethers and parties we'll be able to have, but we'll be rooting from across Canada to cheer our team on.
You follow us on Twitter, and we'll make sure anything else, what you see on CBC Sports, we'll make sure you get to. So
thank you.
So excited for you. This is such a wonderful, wonderful story, and great to get your perspective.
Congratulations, Cheryl. And of course, we'll be keeping you up to date at yet another Olympics. You are a super mom, a super curling fan, and celebrate this.
If I can tell you one quick story, after her first Olympics, I was in a Walmart, and there was a fella there that I actually only knew from being on my bus rides home, and I didn't know him at all. And he come up to me and he said, he called me, he says, "You're a moo," like this. And I said, "What did you call me?" Like this. He says, "A moo, mother of Olympian." So now I can say I'm a moo, moo, moo.
Oh. I also loved how you were saying you never know when you're going to get that time to go again. And here this could have been her third time if fans were allowed. So lovely.
Moo, moo, moo.
Yeah.
Outstanding, Cheryl. Always great to see you.
Thank you. It was wonderful to see you today, too.
Yeah, have a relaxing night off, hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Those are great stories. I love the story of getting the flag off the Parliament building and Caitlin saying, what are you going to do with that?
And she took that flag.
I'm going to take
Colleen,
you to the Olympic Games.
Yeah, she took that flag to Pyeongchang. And in fact, when Johnny Moe and Caitlin won in Portage la Prairie to be able to go to Pyeongchang, she also wrapped Caitlin in that same flag.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful story. I think we've got Mike Harris up next on our agenda.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The champ is here.
The boss lady's here.
The champ is here. We were hoping and wishing that we
she'd
could
have a minute. Is she in a car? Is she still underneath? We don't know where she's at.
The champ is here. Jen, congratulations.
Woo!
You're going back to the Olympics. How does it feel?
Unbelievable. It's like the most, I don't know, crazy feeling, and just the way the game happened at the end, like it's just super grateful.
Well, it was a roller coaster. We were just talking to Cheryl Laws about the ups and downs in that game. What were you doing when that last rock in the 11th end was coming down?
I was watching, and I mean, you know, you've been in that position when you're watching the opposition shoot. It's never a great feeling. It's out of your control, and the line looked a little bit tight halfway down the sheet. So it was one of those ones where you had a little bit of, I don't know, it felt like it was going to overcurl. So it was, I was pretty thankful. Just, I felt really bad about missing in 10. So it was, for me, I would have probably never forgiven myself. So I was very grateful.
Jen, we played a clip right off the show, the emotion of the moment, the emotion of today, and of course the anthem. And you spoke so beautifully about your father and what he means to you, what your parents have meant to you through all of that. I'll ask you again about all of that because I know he means so much to you.
He does. Yeah. I miss him so much. And he just loved curling. And there was somebody in the fan that would say, in the stands, that was just saying great shot, and that's what my dad would always say. I just had this feeling he was with me this week. I don't know, it was just this weird feeling, and I felt like he was watching over us, and maybe he was, and maybe that's why everything happens the way it does. But yeah, my parents are such great supporters of me, and my dad was such an influence in curling, and he was just an amazing human being. I was so lucky to have him as a dad, and I just truly wish he could be here he would be so proud and to celebrate with us.
Well, I think you were right when you said that he was probably with you because everything was going your way in quite magical ways too. Now, this means no mixed doubles.
I know that makes, well, I can't say I'm sad because I'm not sad, but I really do love playing mixed doubles. And it's hard to not play with my husband and have some fun, but hopefully, he'll figure it out. And and hopefully he can find a partner and see if he can join us in Beijing.
Jen,
he was showing me a video of the kids there. That's why. Sorry, Devin.
Nice. Yeah.
No, that's all right. This team, tell me about the team. Tell me about the celebration. Tell me about what makes this group so special.
I couldn't ask for a better team. And I think really what makes us special is that we're a true team. We are there when somebody misses. We're the first people to pick each other up. And I think that's how we rebounded. And we made 8 perfect shots in the 11th end to win that game after kind of a devastating way to have the 10th end. And I think that's really what makes us special, our work ethic, but it's our teamness and how we're there for each other, how we support each other through the thick and the thin, and find ways to just be our very best in the big moments. And I just can't believe I get to go to the Olympics with this team.
So exciting.
Yay!
And to put those Olympic jerseys on again. I know. I love it when the veterans, the wily old veteran, she's not old. I'm old, but anyhow. When you put that Olympic jersey on and walked up the ice, what did it feel like to put that gorgeous jersey on?
anytime you get to wear a Team Canada jacket, it's pretty special. And I just think the emotions of just the game and how it ended and all of it, it was just so surreal. And to just walk down with the girls and have all of our kind of eyes a little watery and just really soak it up, it was really special.
Unbelievable, Jen. You're such a champion, and we are so grateful to have you joining us on that curling show, because we're coming with you to Beijing.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to have a front row seat to you back at the Olympics.
We'll be there. We'll be there bugging you. But just talk about the Olympic, what we know right now of the Olympic lineup on the women's side, which is so strong. We want you to enjoy this win, but you've obviously got a lot of work to do between now and February.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know you guys were coming. That's super exciting. Yeah, it's everybody who is like playing well right now is going to be at the Olympic Games. And so we know we're going to have to be as sharp as we can be and be super consistent. So we've already looked at our schedule. We had meetings after the win just to kind of go through the times you're flying and when you have to be there. And so we looked at our schedule, and we're going to make sure that we have lots of training, and we are going to train our butts off and hopefully represent Canada to the best of our abilities and see what we can do and stand on the podium.
No question. We believe every bit of that. You're such a champion. Congratulations again. Brilliant to be there and watch that drama. You know I love the drama, Jen. So thank you for that roller coaster today.
I'd say I did it for you, Devin, but I didn't.
Pounds, so.
I would have no drama.
Enjoy this, Jen.
Congratulations. So beautiful to see.
Thank you.
And of course, now we have the drama on the men's side.
The men's
with,
side tonight.
The battle of the Brads, Brad Jacobs and Brad Gushu. So this is going to be, I don't think they can put us through more of that. What do you think? Can they put us through more of that?
Absolutely can. I believe that is going to be a last shot drama situation again, but we're gonna set that up a little bit more, but the party's still going on here. The families are still
bring in Mike McEwen.
Let's bring in Mike McEwen,
husband of Dawn.
Where are we gonna find Mike today? Where is Mike?
On a beach, in a parking lot.
On a beach. He must be. Look at that glow there. That golden glow.
He's very excited.
Mike, what did it look like from your vantage point today? Because that was some sort of finish.
Yeah, it was. Thanks for having me on again, by the way.
Happy to have you on.
In pure Team Jones style, it was exhilarating, to say the least. I know I was beside Steph, Caitlin's fiance, and I noticed after the 10th end, he kind of had to get up and take a walk. He was getting restless, and I was trying to break the ice a little bit. I chat a little bit through when I get kind of the anxiety and whatnot, watching my spouse play. So it doesn't get any more excruciating and exhilarating than that.
I'm going to tell you, never watch a game with Devin Haru, though, if you get chatty and an anxiety, because that's what it's like on the bench. I mean, how special is this for you? You lost a disappointing run for the Olympic spot as well, and then you get to cheer on your wife. So I don't think this would be bittersweet for you, because you're thrilled that Dawn won, but I guess you know how difficult this thing is to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's, there's so many layers to this team, to Dawn. The last 7 months since having her second child, she is an unbelievable inspiration, in what you can do, being a mom and going to work, but what she did in our basement, through the summer months to get ready for this. She is such a workhorse, and the team is all together. Even just adding Lisa and adding that extra dynamic to the team has been so beneficial, but even just what she's allowed, Dawn to do, that's been very important. that's taken some pressure off Dawn in that she can get that family time she needs. She's got Lisa to rely on. That's been huge for us. There's a lot of layers to this team that really add up to make this work.
Yeah, 2 superstar leads, the best 2 leads on the planet are on Team Jennifer Jones.
Team.
Will it be tough not being able to go to the Olympics?
Yeah, and I was asked this question before, like what would it mean, for myself to be in that kind of position, and having gone with the girls to Sochi, just that big family, all your supporters, your sponsors, being amongst that and having them be able to kind of partake in that dream was like just so eye-opening. Like that was so important. And so this is different, and that's we'll find a way to recreate that back home. But yeah, like and that's how I felt. If we were to ever win, that's what was most important to me is all the people around the team to enjoy. So I know the girls are they're ecstatic to go, and it's going to be a different experience, and we'll figure out how that looks at home.
Yeah, well, whenever you find out how it looks at home, you get a hold of us, because that curling show will be there with you.
Mike and I already talked about this, because he said he's going to rival me in how many coffees he's drinking to stay up through the middle of the night. So, Mike, we're going to be doing as many check-ins as possible with you at home in the house. From one house to the other house, we're going to be checking in.
And so excited that you guys won. It was an exciting game. Mm-hmm.
We could have coffee time together. Virtually.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee talk
and the coffee walk, and he can be walking.
We'll get in touch after the show.
We'll arrange that somehow. Yeah, down dirt roads and beautiful streets. Excellent.
Soak it up, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it and love your show. Look forward to whatever you've got next.
Yeah, the coffee walks with Mike McEwen and Devin and Colleen.
Talks with Mike McEwen.
I see our next guest might want to join in on some of that too. But this is an exciting. We're really super excited that today we met the Canadian wheelchair team that's heading to the Paralympics in Beijing, and they're here training. So we bugged and arranged for Skipper.
And we are 68 days from the Olympics, and just right after that, the Paralympics.
This is 98 days away.
98 days away, and Mark Idison, Skipper, we had a chance to meet in Pyeongchang, and what a pleasure that was, and so glad to have you in my hometown. Welcome, Mark.
Let's get your thoughts on the women's game. Could you stand the roller coaster today?
So I'm still emotional from it, actually. It was such a roller coaster, but tough for Fleury, but happy for Team Jones.
You describe it well.
Mark, we were just talking about the fact that the clock is ticking down to the Paralympics. You were over there in Beijing not too long ago in a test event. The world's there. Take us through that journey, because I know the team battled hard into the playoffs.
We did. The venue is actually spectacular. It's really well set up. It's beautiful. What they've done to make a swimming pool into a curling venue is amazing. So really well done. Also, I feel like it was really good for us to be there and to get acquainted with the surroundings and the travel and some of the food and just get familiar with the sites and the COVID protocols, because that's our first sort of bubble environment that we've been in. So really nice to get acquainted with that.
It always sounds funny when somebody says how they turned the swimming pool into a curling rink, because that's exactly what it was for the Summer Olympic Games. Tell me about the expectations and what you're looking to accomplish this week during training camp when you can all get together.
Well, we had a 5th place finish at Worlds, which we lost in the quarters. And considering how little ice time and how little time we had together before the event, we felt like we had accomplished a lot of things, even in that 5th place finish. Not ideal, but so we're really going to use that as a stepping stone leading into the games. And being part of this is super cool, and then having a chance to be together and train here after is great. So we'll work on some technical stuff and some things that came up when we viewed game tape, and so we'll be ready to go when we get to the games.
Always work to be done.
Always work to be done. I know we're still awaiting the official team announcement, Mark, but can you tell us who's on the team potentially, or at least who's here together this week, and then we can use our imaginations on who's going to be there in Beijing.
The team looks really good. And, a lot of similarities to our World Championship last year. And we've also got a new upcoming event happening in wheelchair curling. It's the mixed doubles. And so we've got our mixed doubles curlers here with us too, which is so we can all train together, and works out really well for all of us.
Mark, for those who don't know, tell us your path into wheelchair curling, because I know down at my home in Nova Scotia, they're always looking for new people to get involved and join the sport.
Yeah, so I'll give you the quick Coles Notes version of my story. So I was involved in a helicopter accident in February of 2007, and I now live my life with quadriplegia. And I'd made a promise to myself in the hospital that I didn't want to play any sports that I had played able-bodied, because I didn't want to compare my old abilities to my new ones, because I had curled in a beer league with some buddies. And I'm glad I tried wheelchair curling, because I'm way better sitting down than I was standing up. I definitely was not a great curler, but I was invited to try wheelchair curling by some fellow athletes, and eventually I said yes and gave it a try. And as soon as I realized that I had the strength to get the rock down the ice, because it's daunting at first, and I was hooked. And so we're always looking for more athletes, either retired from other sports or maybe someone that's newly injured that wants to give it a try. We're happy to have new athletes.
To play the beautiful game.
Yeah.
Mark, you can't see it on our monitor right now, but they're showing the team after the bronze medal win in Pyeongchang. And of course, we were all there together. And that is a career highlight for me. What did it mean to you? Because it really was remarkable the way you came back after that semifinal and found a way to get on the podium.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to lose that semi. Like wheelchair curling in Canada, we've won gold since the beginning of the Paralympics with wheelchair curling. And so, I felt that pressure of not coming home with the gold medal. And but we were able to regroup, and it's a really special group of people. And, we had each other's backs and supported each other through the win. And we had an excellent group of family and friends there cheering us on. So, and, we always feel the cheers from family and friends at home, which we're going to need this time.
Yeah, you'll be feeling them across the Pacific Ocean. Yeah. Nice of you to join us. Really appreciate it. And Devin will be there for the entire Paralympics, so you'll be seeing a lot of him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We'll see you there, Mark.
You got it. Thanks.
Always great.
Thanks for having me.
Are you going to the men's game tonight?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll see you there.
Okay. Yeah. Look forward.
Thank you, Mark.
We're hoping they go easier on everyone's
I don't know
nerves.
if my heart can take another one.
Yeah. Battle of the Brads round 2.
Can't wait for the wheelchair curling at the Paralympics. And of course, we'll be covering that.
Yeah. Now, let's bring in Mike Harris to talk a little bit about that men's showdown and what he thought of the women's game. He's waiting on us. There he is, Mike Harris Curls. Hello.
Back again.
I've almost recovered.
What did you make? Almost recovered. All right, tell us about it.
That was insane.
Was
it
but
not?
Exciting at the same time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean,
it was.
The
first half of the game was a little. Were a lot of missed opportunities, and then then both teams started to play pretty good the last half, and then Jen had like the easiest shot ever to go to the Olympics, which she never misses. Right?
Yeah.
And she missed.
Yeah.
Never. No.
Like, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
I forget I was texting. My daughter was watching in Victoria, my youngest, and she's in first year university out there, and all the texts were like, wow, back and forth. And I said, after the 10th end, I said, Jen's just going to have nightmares about this for the next forever, right? I mean, and then she ends up
100
winning,
years.
so.
No kidding.
Oh, it was, and the funny part was, I worked all last week with Jill Officer over in Lillehammer, and she was saying that her niece, of course, plays lead for Fleury, and all with the history of Jennifer Jones. I said to her, that must have been the worst thing to watch for you in the last 2 ends, and she just replied with, yeah, that was horrible. But even though her friends are on with Jen and her family with Tracy, it just, I think all of us felt it, right? I mean, it just goes to show you how important it is for this. It's the biggest carrot, you're just gonna go, this is amazing. So, and the emotion of Jen, I thought the emotion of Jen and the team afterwards, I think a lot of it has to do for them, especially, they know what was at stake. They've been before, and Jen just kind of, yeah, I mean, it was great. So I think we're gonna, I think your point, you're gonna see more of the same tonight. You've got 2 teams who know exactly what they're playing for, and it's just a massive prize. So very exciting, very exciting.
Is it easy to pick a favorite in this one?
No, I don't. I mean, Brad Gushu, because he has the hammer in the first end, that's a significant advantage in with these 2 teams. So Brad's got to find a way to either steal early like Jen did tonight, get a steal in the first end, and that kind of turned the tide right away. So if you steal 1, that's fine. But even holding Gushu to 1 would be a significant accomplishment out of the gate, and then try to take your chances with the hammer. So, but that's not an easy task against Brad Gushu. So, I think it's again, it's I think it's like 60% of the time the team with the hammer wins, type something like that on tour, and for Brad it's probably a little higher. So for Brad, they're both Brads. For Gushu, it's a little higher. Both Brads and Marks all over the place on this sheet tonight. So, but for Gushu, you got to give him a little bit of an advantage because of that. But it's the finals. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Obviously, after today,
Well, buckle up, Mike. Buckle up. It's always good to see you.
Likewise, and so I mean, and just to share with everyone who's watching, me, Bruce Rainey, and I, and whoever our third commentator is, we're not sure who that. We had kind of Jen Jones, a little Mark, perhaps, to help us in the booth. That's not happening now. So we're going to be calling it from Toronto, and I'm sure we'll spend lots of time, double enders with you guys like we're doing here. So I'm looking forward to Beijing, and your eyes and ears on the ground there, and we'll just try to keep up with the curling show. Or that.
Oh, the eyes and ears are out there. They're on the ground. The boots are on the ground there.
I will miss.
You won't miss anything. Call anytime.
Those morning bus rides and those late night bus rides back to the hotel.
Yeah.
But, I knew exactly where you were going with that, Mike.
But I have the nice thing. Rainey and I were just talking that we're going to save an hour each way. We're just going to be walking across the street into the CBC studios from our hotel. So that alone will save us 2 hours, 1 hour at each end. So that part we're looking for. I'm not looking forward to the midnight shift, but I am looking forward to the shorter commute. That's for sure.
We'll all be in it together. Can't wait.
Yeah,
good to see you, Mike.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to pick Jacobs on last draw. Just because I can't help myself.
Kind of setting us up.
I didn't think favorite, but I'm going to take. I think
by the sound of he's got hammer.
I know, but I think Jacobs is going to do it.
Yeah, tail of the tape there. Statistically,
enjoy the game, Mike.
Yes, you too.
They're so even, statistically speaking.
Thank you. So,
stat-wise, I thought Mike might jump in again. Statistically speaking, Brad and Brad are so even.
Flip a coin.
And a little bit of an edge goes to Team Jacobs.
So we have one piece of the Olympic puzzle figured out with Jennifer Jones heading there. We'll find out the other team, and of course, we want to own the podium because we're coming off an Olympics where the men's and women's teams didn't get there. So we're going to find out a little bit about this
from the chief herself.
The chief herself.
Yeah, from Canadian Olympic organization.
Own the podium.
Yeah, own the podium.
Absolutely.
Anne Merklinger is here. Hi, Anne. She was there watching the game. How are you?
I'm great, Colleen and
What
Devin.
a game, eh?
It was incredible.
Drama at every turn.
Every end. I was ready to throw up. It was like unbelievable. It was like I was out on the ice myself. What an incredible game.
I always feel when you mention that, because if you didn't know, Anne was a fantastic champion curler. You see situations like that and your body automatically goes into an extremely tense mode while you recollect all the moments that happened to you too. Are you excited about Beijing, Anne?
Well, I'm excited. There's a number of really important priorities that we have with our national partners like the Canadian Olympic Committee, Canadian Paralympic Committee. First and foremost is protecting the health and safety of every member of Team Canada, making sure they get to and from Beijing safe and get back home and protect their families and their communities. So that's still at the top of the list, just as it was for Tokyo. Some of the winter sport athletes have been able to compete a little bit more than the Tokyo-bound athletes were, but the pandemic is still a significant obstacle for every country and very much so for Canada's athletes and coaches as they try to compete in various competitions between now and the actual Olympic and Paralympic Games in Beijing.
And with this new variant that's emerging and causing such global concern, what steps do you take at this stage, and what discussions are you having with other countries even?
Well, the host organizing committee in Beijing has this all under control, and they have very strict protocols, a very safe bubble. We're blessed to have two chief medical officers with the Canadian Olympic Committee and Canadian Paralympic Committee who have been through Tokyo. They know what it's like. They're dialed in with WHO. So we're really blessed in Canada to have the best medical experts. And so we know for sure that our team will be well protected, well prepared. And I actually think that several of the teams have already been able to go to Beijing and compete in test events, and that becomes a competitive advantage for them. They know what it's going to be like at the actual games, games like no other, probably even a little more confined than what the Tokyo Games were, but Canada's going to be ready.
Well, and Anne, of course, I was in Tokyo and we saw that I think that support staff around Team Canada allowed the athletes to succeed. And so I hear from you as we speak to you, how much is being put into that to allow the athletes just to go there and do what they do best. We see a team on the ground here, even in Saskatoon. Those meetings are already underway, aren't they?
Well, they sure are. And, the Canadian Olympic Committee and the Canadian Paralympic Committee, they're world leaders in organizing games missions. So as you said, Devin, they have people already here meeting with the teams. Team Jones met with the Canadian Curling Association staff after their terrific victory today. The same thing will happen with the team that wins the men's final tonight. And now it's just making sure that everything is done to inform and prepare the teams and the athletes and coaches that represent Canada between now and the Beijing Games.
You said it'll be a games like no other, and between, doing it again in the middle of a pandemic, and then the talk about diplomatic boycott. What kind of a distraction is that for the athletes when this isn't really the game they're taught to play?
Well, performing on demand is about controlling what you can control. And any member of Team Canada won't be able to control what happens outside of their environment. And so it's about focusing on what you can control and trying to eliminate the distractions, focus on what you yourself and bringing your best every day, as we've heard so often this week from many of our top curlers in the country. So every chance that an athlete gets to compete in a COVID environment helps them prepare for their performance in Beijing.
We can't wait. We're counting down the days, no doubt. We have one more game to figure out our Canadian male representative.
Can we ask Anne who thinks
We're going to
is she able to
absolutely
say?
ask Anne. We're going to
Can we put her on the spot? Which Brad? You're safe to say Brad, by the way. That's your safest
We're
pick.
taking that away from you, Anne. What Brad, Guzu or Jacobs?
Well, I'll go with a back-end combination of Mark and Brad. It's such a coin toss. They are two incredible teams. Their performance this week has been off the charts. And I will just be so proud of whatever team wins, because we know that they will represent our country so well in Beijing.
That was diplomatic, wasn't it?
It absolutely
That was very good. But I think she's right about the coin toss thing, because both Anne and I have lost a lot of big games in our day, and you realize we're pretty equal. It often comes down to who got the right role, when, where, how, and why. and you just have to go with it. And that's something the Brads have been really good about talking about, both of them. They are like Zen masters.
They really
the way
are.
they talk about, we play hard every game, and then whatever happens, happens. A lot of people will say that. These two really believe it.
No question.
wanna
Always
win,
great to hear from Ann Merklinger at Own the Podium. And of course, the curlers want to get back on top. So we will be following that closely, no doubt.
Yeah. And it's going to be one of those games like Meg was talking about, Gushu's got hammer in the first end.
Right.
But it is amazing how it doesn't take a lot to sort of mitigate that or lessen it or not panic about it. And I find both of their styles reasonably similar.
Yeah. And when we were driving to the rink this morning, I absolutely loved what you said, Cole, about the fact that you have a game plan.
Yes.
You go into a game and then everything changes and you
Right.
go, how did we end up here?
Right.
Kind of like Cooey yesterday with Jacobs. You give up that 4
Right.
and you're going,
You never saw that coming.
let's rewind the tape. Can we do this again? You don't get to do it again.
No do-overs, are there?
No do-overs.
Yeah,
Okay,
sometimes you
I'm
get
excited
lucky.
about this.
No, me
I'm
too.
really excited about this. We're
Yes.
waving across the way because, of course, you know I'm from Saskatoon, right?
You bleed green, man.
I know when the Rider game is on right now, and thank you, producer, so for giving us scoring updates. But this is really thrilling because right now, in the house, in the Granite Curling Club, probably not
Wonder if
far
she's curled.
from where she grew up,
Really?
our Saskatchewan
Pride.
hero,
Yeah.
Katrina LeMay-Doan, in the house, Canada Chef de Mission.
We do our own
Back
applause
home.
here.
Back home.
How does it
yay.
feel? Great to see you,
Yeah,
Katrina.
nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you.
I've never been in the Granite Curling Club, and I admitted that.
Wow. I thought
Now
everybody
you're both
had been
stunned. I know. Okay, I haven't curled.
Oh,
I
we should have a
know.
show
I
dance.
see
Do
this
it
is-
right now.
I teach her.
This is just a show of truth.
Yeah.
I'm from Saskatchewan. My parents are both Scottish, and I've never curled.
Did they curl?
No,
Wow.
they did not.
Scots and Saskatoon, and they didn't curl.
But I'm so excited that I can be here for our team announcements, first team announcements, and watch such exciting curling.
Is this the first team announcement?
It is.
With the- wow.
It is.
I love that.
Wow.
Yes, at home.
How excited are you as chef de mission of this team?
I was actually just telling everybody that I've always dreamt of being chef. And I always said, and it's just my thing, I would never get the Olympic ring tattoo. And then I made a deal with myself, I would get it if I was chef. So I have 60 some days to get it, but that
Wow.
was my deal.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's it's just for me, it's something, it's kind of comes full circle.
Can we know where the tattoo's going to be?
It's going to be on my arm. I have a
Okay.
different one that I'll get on I was between my ankle and my arm. So I had my daughter drawing it in Sharpie a whole ton of times. Like, I don't know, Greta, what do you think? Easton, what do you think? And so we decided on arm because the heritage one that I want is going to be better on my ankle. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, Katrina, of course, you're back home where your Olympic dreams started on the outdoor oval, not far from here.
Yeah.
What comes up for you when you come back home to know that this is where it all started?
I love coming home. And you know what? I'll always call it home. I've lived in Calgary for 35 years and it's where I live. It's where I raise my children. This is home because it is. It's the roots of my parents. Came here. My sisters and I are first generation Canadians. It's the people at that outdoor oval, and they were not easy days outside. Usually it's cold this time of year. And they're the people that help me and continue to support me. I was actually back here 2 weeks ago for a ringette tournament with my daughter, and all I'm doing is going around the river taking, it's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful city in the world. Let me post another photo. And I just love it. And I'm just so proud, that that they host so many events and that the trials can be here.
Well, it sounds like what he says every day about how beautiful the sunsets. There's no more beautiful sunset. And I said, you should come to Nova Scotia. And then day one, I said, yeah, this place reminds me of Paris. And he goes, it's called the Paris of the Prairies. I'm going, well, that might be a little exaggeration.
Maybe not.
How do you plan, because you've been at a few of these rodeos called the Olympic Games, how do you plan to support the athletes?
Well, it's been different leading up. Obviously, with COVID, it's been different for everybody. So last year we did a bunch of Zoom sessions. Actually, the ski cross guys, we did a Zoom session from, they had Worlds in Sweden. And, an interesting conversation with them, and it was a different perspective, was some of them were asking, how do we deal at Worlds when there are no fans? And it sort of made me stop for a second, because I'm like, whoa, I would have loved that, because I didn't rise to the occasion of these super stressful situations. And it was interesting talking through the athletes. Some people need that, and that sort of drives them, and others don't need it. So stuff like that, doing updates to them. Now I can actually go to events. So actually yesterday I was in Lake Louise at the World Cup. So that was awesome. Here at the trials, next Friday I'll go to the Women's World Cup skiing, and then we have speed skating the weekend after. So finally we can actually go to these events. Right. I just want to be a resource to them. Athletes are in their zone, in their bubble. They know what to do. But if there's anything, like I've seen it athlete-wise, I've seen it pressure-wise, I've seen it media-wise, I've seen it mission team. So I've seen all the different perspectives. I've experienced them all. So if there's any way that can help them, or if it's just the fact of knowing that, a resource is there if they need, that's what I want. So.
And did I hear that right? That when the crowd was there, wasn't your favorite moment?
No, I never.
Really?
My Olympic races, and they were good enough, but if you look at races, they were never my best.
Wow.
I don't thrive on that. I mean, during the women's final, I was texting Cheryl Bernard going, this is too much. I go, thank goodness my event was 37 seconds. And I don't even understand half of what was happening on the ice.
Well, Katrina, I don't know if you saw the footage, but I was at the Oval not too long ago, and I put a skin suit on, and I was, I'm going to call it speed skating. I was attempting to speed skate. I've gained a whole new appreciation for that sport.
Well, and that's the beauty of being around sport, but then also trying them, is you start to see the intricacies and the things that you see on TV that look so easy. I mean, again, in curling, I was asking 100 questions. Was that a good shot? Was that a mistake? What was it? Because I don't really know, but to actually try it and to understand the depth and the precision. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Every sport is just incredible.
I know. You should see me speed skating. I think I'm speed skating fine. I'm not. Same for downhill skiing. I'm like muscling my way down a hill.
I wish we had curling shoes.
We had curling
I really
shows.
honestly believe we need to get Katrina in the hack over here.
We could, but she would die in those shoes.
But
she'd take her head out.
I have a gin on the side, so then I might be fine.
You've got what?
A gin and tonic on the side, so then I'd be fine.
Honest.
I'm Scottish again.
Where's ours?
I'm retired from sport.
Yeah.
Where's ours?
Isn't that? I'll be fine.
If you're ready, I'm ready to show you.
We would roll
we'll
the
take
tape.
you
If
down
you got
there.
in the hack, we would roll the tape right there and do it live.
Oh,
I got my work boots on. You got your high heels. Would be a good team.
It is awesome to see you.
Great to see you guys.
So good to
I love
see
it.
you. So good
and
to see you.
apparently, if I'm on this show, I've made it.
How did you hear that? You heard.
Is that the rumor around
We also
Saskatoon?
have a CBC Beijing pin for you. So
I'm actually a pin person. I am a pin person.
I am finding so much more about you than just Canada Games alumni, superstar, Olympian,
back-to-back Olympic champion.
Canada
How hard
Sports
is
Hall
it to
of
defend
Fame.
gold?
I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I don't think I understood until Beijing 2008.
Right.
How difficult it was. So 6.5 years later. And I think the fact that only 3 of us have done it, defending individual, in the history of Canadian sport, I think it's taken me that long to actually figure it out, how difficult it is.
You are such a champion.
I'm gonna softball pitch.
We're going to throw this over to the
Pin girl.
What a
Nice
great
pitch.
Hey,
Great
that
catch.
looked like a Rough Rider pass today.
It's my first Beijing pin.
Oh, we
Thank
are
you.
so happy to give you your CBC Beijing Olympic pin.
Awesome.
And by the way, we want you back on that curling show when we're in Beijing.
We're taking
Might
the
be
show
in the
on
middle of the
road.
night. We're taking
yeah?
the show on the
We'll
road.
see you in Beijing.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. We'll be there.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the rink later.
Sounds good. I'll be there too.
What a superstar.
Superstar.
She's a superstar.
Saskatoon,
She is that.
Saskatchewan.
We'll give her a
superstar.
curling lesson someday, but not in those heels. She could really hurt herself. We'd take her out before the Olympic Games. That wouldn't be good. What a fun last show in Saskatoon.
Can you believe it?
The Paris of the Prairie. No, yeah, the Paris of the Prairie.
It is the Paris of the Prairies.
It really is. It's a
absolutely-
gorgeous,
And
gorgeous
did you know
city.
I won 2 high school city championships in this curling
Oh, I should
club?
interview you about that. 2, not 1, but 2. That's fantastic.
Katrina wasn't lying about her gin and tonic.
Well, as she shouldn't be. Fantastic to have her. Fantastic to be doing the show here this week. We hope you all enjoyed our show. We hope you've enjoyed the curling. And my goodness, tonight, Brad and Brad.
Brad and Brad.
We
Who's
might
gonna
need a
win
gin
it,
and
Cole?
tonic before
Who's
that.
going to win it?
A Brad and Mark. I'm going with the Ann
Actually, to
Merklin
that
report.
point, that's really interesting. 2002, Kevin Martin. 2006, Brad Gushu. 2010, Kevin Martin. 2014, Brad. 2018, Kevin Cooey. It's good to be Kevin or Brad if you're in the Olympic trials.
It really
and
is.
another Brad is going to the games.
I would just change my name if I was a male curler. Mike McEwen should just switch it today. He'd have better luck next time.
Brad is
All right.
going to go to the Olympics for Canada. We hope you enjoy it. We do this for you, the fans. Colleen and I, we're going to be in Beijing.
We
We're
will.
just
Can't
getting
wait.
started. Call. Awesome to do this with you.
Awesome. Thanks, producer Soph. I'm going to go disperse the Beijing.
I got to go watch the end of the football game.
Oh, stop it.
And then curling. More curling.
I got to give the CBC pins away.
Get going.
Everybody's still here. We're having a party.
Enjoy
here.
curling events. We're having a party. That's a wrap.